have allowed weapons to be put in the street in the hands of immature, hateful people that have caused the deaths of people who were murdered a couple weeks ago. Trayvon Martin was not the first.
So first of all, I did not allow anything with that. Well, listen, excuse me. I'm not going to let you accuse me of committing criminal activity. I am not going to take that. I am not going to take that. So you want to have a civil conversation, that's one thing. Try to say that I'm letting, no, there is the truth. There is something about the truth. It's not everyone doesn't have their own truth. No. You don't get to come here and blame me for some madman. That is not appropriate, and I'm not going to accept it.
You have allowed people to hunt people like me.
Oh, that is nonsense. That is such nonsense. We've done more to support law enforcement in this state than anybody throughout the United States.
First off, why is Ron DeSantis nearly always glaring like this in public, looking like a complete asshole? There might actually be a reason this time, because he's not good at being called out for his racist policies, so he scurried to the comfortable surroundings of Fox News to elaborate without any pushback.
I am not going to sit there and stand for that. I am not going to let anyone impugn me in that way, and we will fight back. But I think it shows, part of the problem with our society that people would stoop to that level. We can have disagreements on issues. We can even be heated on issues. But to take some nut job and to try to act like we were a part of that is absolutely absurd. Now, this guy was very mentally ill. He had actually been Baker acted, which in Florida is one of the kind of the initial involuntary commitment several years ago. He was not, though, done on a more permanent basis. Had that happened, and it probably should have, he would have ended up being ineligible to purchase a firearm.
But how much do people that are the targets of increasing white supremacist violence care about what he thinks should have been done when his policies invite more guns into society while ignoring bigots marching on bridges in his state?
Some jackasses, doing this on the street. First of all, state law enforcement is going to hold them accountable because they were doing stuff on the overpass. But I'm not going to have people try to smear me that belong to a political party that has elevated anti-Semites to the halls of Congress like Ilhan Omar.
He's the leader of the party that claims it cares about personal responsibility and that they support the idea that America offers opportunities to everyone despite their race or religion or background. But when it comes to DeSantis' political aspirations, he's built his entire platform on attacking the most disenfranchised groups, which obviously appeals to rabid racists, anti-Semites, and homophobic groups. His biggest claim to fame is pushing against the teaching of our dark history that still has effects on our society. And let's not forget his anti-woke warpath against diversity and education.
We are also going to eliminate all DEI and CRT bureaucracies in the state of Florida. No funding, and that will wither on the vine. And I think that that's very important because it really serves as an ideological filter, a political filter, and the core curriculum must be grounded in actual history, the actual philosophy that has shaped Western civilization.
DeSantis can't expect to constantly rail against any and all policies that recognize the reality of what it's like to be a black person in America, and then show up to a vigil for the victims murdered by white supremacists that absolutely would have joined those other Nazis on that bridge, and then not receive this kind of welcome.